we all bring our unique, characteristics to the game. And, just speaking on myself, I think it's my tenacity, my energy, my play recognition, and really my communication skills on the field. I feel like I communicate well with the young guys out there. They respond well to my energy. And, I feel like, when I take the ball away from the opposing offenses, it definitely energizes my young guys.
Do you learn something from the number of playoff games you've been in that allows you to kind of deal with something like this in a calm manner, even if it hasn't been a Super Bowl quite yet?
Yes and no. You have to adjust to the schedule. You still try to, you know, keep the main thing, and block out all distractions. But we here talking to media. I know some of these guys, don't usually talk to media throughout the year, and now, it's media in everybody's face. So you have to be able to adjust through that, but also, keep the main thing, focus on, game planning and, being ahead of plays so you can go out there on Sunday and make plays.
It seems like AD's role and influence and experience with you made you a guy they really wanted to pursue. Mike thought that based on his conversation with AD that you were going to be a perfect fit. What about that relationship that lends itself to this?
Yeah, just our experiences over the years. Coming into the league, AD was a rookie too. So we learned from the same guru, Rod Marinelli, and just feel like we thought the same of the game, and I feel like I definitely would have been a good fit under his system, and after playing years of football with him.
How about Mike? You've been through a lot of coaches. What's allowed him to have so much success in just year two?
Yeah, I think his first is a relationship with the players. You know, being a young coach and being diverse in his play calling, I feel like it fits players so well because he always putting us in the right place to make plays.
What about loose and focused as an overriding philosophy? What does that mean to a player?
Loose and focused, you know, loose, still having a lot of energy, being able to play around with your guys, have fun, but also still focus on the task at hand.
Last one for me. Night before a game. What's your prep like? Are there nerves? What do you go through?
Um, I have my nightly meal, pray with my kids, pray by myself, go to bed. Hopefully, I get good dreams about making plays in the game, and wake up and start my day.
Will you have a message for the guys?
Message for my guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, stay loose and focused. This is the time of our lives, and shoot, let's have fun on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And it really goes to all these guys in this room. From head up to our coaching staff to our players, and how we found a way to play the game this year. I feel like we created something special, a special brotherhood, and you know it's gonna be cool. Thank y'all. No, yeah. Uh
One thing that we've noticed, like I'm from Boston,
huh.
is that seems like trash talk is a dying art, and everyone on their side, they were talking about today, they're like, we do not want to end up on someone's lawn.
Yeah.
Like, is it kind of a bummer that you can't really say what you want to say and try to stir some stuff up, or do you just try to play it right down the middle?
I mean, that's never been my type of game. I'm trying to hit you in. My trash talk is seeing you get up off the ground. So, you know, that's how I approach the game, and trash talk is really for, losers. That people that don't want to play between the lines and want to use words instead of using what God bless them with, and that's their hands and feet.
Is there anybody on that side that you have played with or played against? Like, what are your takeaway from a guy on that
Um, no. I mean, I don't play it against some of their players. But you know, no, like watching film, it never crossed my mind. Like, nah, that guy's one of those people, or anything like that. Go ahead.
When you guys go ones v ones in practice, what makes the offense just so difficult to play against? What makes them so special? Can you just describe them?
Yeah. I believe it's their cadence. You know, how quickly they get on the ball. Their approach. You know, I mean, you start to get used to formations and stuff when you're in like training camp or whatever, but how they approach the ball and quick count. I mean, you got star players over there, Coop Jackson. Sam throw darts. So it's like you know we're very gifted on all levels, and I feel like that's what makes it so competitive and so special about this group. Yeah, my biggest growth was wisdom over time. I feel like through my mistakes and ups and downs, it definitely helped me grow. Definitely helped me make wiser decisions down the road. And what was your last question? I mean, it always revert back to us. The biggest challenge is, making sure we communicate, making sure we on time with our blitzes, making sure, you know, um, we're out there dominating like we do every Sunday. Not letting this week be a distraction and, going out there and hunting.
Congratulations on being here.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you after all those years in Dallas.
Yes, sir.
You're back in this spot. Can you just talk about what this means to you personally? This is the reason why you came here. Obviously, but it's so well to be in this moment right now. How do you process that?
Yeah. For me, it's hard to express your feelings when you're in the moment. You know, I think everything will hit me when I'm holding up that trophy and the confetti coming down and my family's around, knowing that the job is finished. Yeah.
Tell me about the dark side. Yeah. What was the origin of just that name, that nickname for the league? How did it come about?
Yeah, me and all the guys was talking about who we want to be, and legendary defenses always have names, and just the atmosphere of Seattle is dark, and we wanted to incorporate that in our decision, and so we was like, man, shoot, like that's what we trying to do to opposing offenses is make it dark, make sure that when they come out there, like they don't have no will. We shut down everything, that they have, and they know it's straight darkness. So
Did it come from you? Was that your suggestion?
no, I mean it was a team effort, defense effort. Yeah.
You guys were on the back of a bus after a shutout.
Correct.
Was that when
Yeah.
it formulated?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nobody took a vote or anything, but tell me how it.
Uh, yeah, we did take a vote, but I think Jay Love made the final decision. Yeah. Yeah.
DeMarcus Coach Macdonald said a couple minutes ago that you're playing like the best version of yourself. Would you agree with that?
Coach McDonald said what?
You're playing like the best version of yourself. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I believe so. But it definitely goes back to the way my teammates are playing. When you have some crazed dogs around you that's attacking the ball and making plays. I feel like it's easier for a veteran like me to go out and make plays.
Has the extra week in between games kind of made a difference for you at all with the preparation?
Yes and no. More media, interactions, but it's just like another bye week. You just got to know how to approach it, take it day by day, and make sure uh, you're up on your studies and your communication. Thank you.
You talked about treating this week as a bye week. What are some of the extra things that you've been able to do to take advantage of with the extra time?
Yeah, more treatment, more film study, knowing that we never played this team this year, AFC opponent, and it's just really just staying in the moment, man. Every day, it might be something different, but just staying in the moment, making sure you preparing for Sunday that moment, and when it comes, thrive in it.
How long into the process this season is it evidence to you that Nick Emmanwori was kind of a different breed in terms of quickly and versatility and all that?
Yeah, I believe we all found out early in training camp. He was making so many plays out there, like to see a rookie, thrive early in training camp. Like when you first get in the playbook is special, and we definitely knew it from day one.
And all the different roles they ask him to do, that's rare, isn't it? For a guy to have that many things that he does as a rookie, do it pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, you know, Nick is a special guy, and for him to be so versatile and how tall and lean he is, I think it's every coach's dream to have that one player that you can move all around the field and like I look down the line sometimes and I look out and I'm like, bro, like why you so close to me? Like he's down there, in the trenches trying to play like a D lineman. So I mean, like Nick is that special kind of player.
Jake, you played a lot of years in Dallas. What have you found here that was missing over there to reach this special place?
Uh, you know, I in this moment, I definitely don't feel like that's the time for this question. You know, just focus on this game right here, and that's it, really.
DeMarcus, you're gonna have an opportunity to obviously become a Super Bowl champion. If you had the opportunity to, what would you tell that kid from hitting those junction all those years ago?
Believe in yourself. Let the doubt fuel you. You know, continue to press on your dreams and you know trust God.
What's the pregame meal?
Pre-game meal, it varies, bro. I'm not a picky guy. I gotta have my fruit in the morning. You know, and shoot, I don't know, man. I probably do a sandwich or something. You don't want to, overfill yourself before a game. You want to stay hungry. Appreciate you. Say it again.
When you go out in the field, is there a specific person that you're playing?
Specific person. Yes. I mean, it might sound selfish, but it's myself. This is something that I dreamed about as a kid. This is something that I wanted my whole life, and you know, when you blessed with the opportunity like this, like, I mean, who is it really for? You're the one in the moment. You're the one that have to go out there and do it still, and uh, so it'll have to be me.
So you said you wanted this your whole life. Is there something that you think about or found when you're in this
Yeah, trust God first and foremost. If He didn't want you to believe in these dreams, He wouldn't have gave them to you in the first place. So, continue to trust God. The road might be ugly, but it'll be all worth it at the end. Thank you.
From Mexico.
Okay. Okay.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
How you feel the first Super Bowl?
It feels amazing. You know, it's the place I wanted to be my whole life, and you know, I definitely feel like I deserve this opportunity. You know, I'm playing with a great team, and you know, it's special. Thank you.
Hey, what advice would you give the young kids out there? Perhaps they don't believe in themselves, or they don't believe that they could make it to where you made it.
Yeah, trust God. You know, He wouldn't have gave you those dreams for nothing. Continue to believe in the process. The road might be ugly, but it'll be worth it at the end.
Morgan Moses was saying this morning how you gave a lot of trouble. You're familiar and you lost the battles. What do you remember about some of the times you guys had
Yeah, you know, I definitely remember our times. You know, but you know, we're older, both older now. I feel like we both move a little different, and you know, I feel like the energy is going to be high on Sunday. You know, it's going to be a special moment, and yeah.
You talk about the process.
Uh huh.
You get to this stage, you look at, Leonard Williams across the way, Sam next door, all these guys getting to this point in the career where you what did it take to get there? What does Sunday mean to you besides the football and besides the finals? Because it is specifically bad.
I mean, this might sound weird, you know, because this is something that I wanted my whole life. Um, it's just another game, you know. You know, I have to go back to my regular life of being a father. You know, receiving another child in this world soon. So it's like I have something special at home that you know comes before this game, and you know even though God willing, my dream will be accomplished on Sunday. That you know I have something even better, that I'm waking up to, that Monday morning. So it's like, yeah, it's special. I accomplished it, thank you, God. But I'm more thankful for this over here, and I go back to, being a father of six. Thanks.
On that note of fatherhood, I believe it was good that you weren't.
What up, though?
I believe it was June's that you missed because of rookie minicamp.
Yeah.
So have you been like, hey, let's wait till after Sunday to have a baby?
You have no idea.
What did she do?
She is 37 weeks
Okay.
this week.
Okay.
So she is due any day. Thankfully, we have a great doctor. She's gonna, fly here to make sure, everything stays calm. But yeah, like we definitely had deep conversations about it. Me and the guys had a conversation, and they was like, "Hey, so if your wife had a baby during the Super Bowl, what you gonna do?" And I was like, "Man, bro, like I missed my first son's birth, and I can't miss my last, dude. Like so. They was like, so you gonna leave us? Um, they was like, bruh, look, it ain't guaranteed you gonna make another Super Bowl, but you can have another baby. Yeah. who you think? My little brother. Say it again. Yeah, yeah. I definitely wanted to be, a special moment, all around for all of us, as a family. Um, you know, bringing a child in this world is, a special blessing. And also, receiving another ring this year, like, what can top that?
How did it come about you were the first one off the plane? Was that by design or just sort of how you guys
I swear, man, like y'all know y'all can make a story out of anything. And the correct story is they told everybody that the back of the plane was gonna have the stairs, and I actually sit at the front of the plane. So when everybody was walking off, like, I looked out the window and I seen the basically the little bridge come up, and I was like, hold on, that's coming to the front. So I just turned back around and walked slap off the plane. Nah, not at all. It was just, God's purpose, God's design.
So speaking of your family, which is fantastic, how have they impacted you the last few weeks to the playoffs and now to the Super Bowl? What are those moments like?
Oh, it's incredible. Just seeing all the different emotions that they go through, and them being able to share this moment with me. But also, it's even more special because of the sacrifice that they had to make this year. Through the transition and moving and you know schools and making new friends and that whole process. But um, you know that's why it's so special for them, and all that they had to go through and adapt to this year, and you know that's what's special.
Marcus Anthony's talking about commitment to the run being one of the key reasons he wanted to sign you in today's, but there are a lot of X rushers who are still coming from him. Where does that come from? When did you start committing like that?
Yeah, I believe it comes from my early days in the NFL. Through Rod Marinelli. He taught me early that in order to rush the quarterback, no, his saying was stop the run on the way to the quarterback. So that's really about your approach angles and how you set the edge. And through that, you can play action. You can stop the run. I mean, if you get up the field and set the edge, you can use the offensive tackle and make him run into